Hey everybody, this is Erico and I'm back again. Hope you guys are doing well. There's a lot going on in the world right now. A lot of loss, a lot of people going through many different problems physically and mentally. And it's just important that if you have any type of turmoil inside, to talk to somebody, to let it out in some type of way, because right now South Korea is still going through this issue of people suffering internally and not really letting it out or talking to anybody. And so it results in their colleagues, their friends, their family, the media, the public finding these people in their homes where they have exited this world. And it's a sad situation. Celebrities, definitely, we're finding that they're choosing to exit and, go on to the other plane because of issues that most people don't even know. They don't know if it's bullying online, they don't know if it's something going on with their life and their family or how they see themselves. But we've lost so many people in South Korean entertainment over the last few years, and it is just baffling to me how in this certain climate that there isn't a real solution to mental health. So the recent case is Kim Se-on. She was a child actress and she started out as a model. She got her big break in one of my favorite Korean movies of all time called Ajashi, Man from Nowhere. Many people know it as that name. This film is still to this day considered one of the biggest well-loved Korean films of all time. This was also the film that marked the last real appearance we saw of actor Won Bin, and he hasn't really done any type of movies, dramas, or anything since. And she was such a promising young actress, even at that age. I remember when the news broke and I found out that this was her, and I was like, oh my goodness, a little girl from Man from Nowhere. I was like, she was so good in that movie. At such a young age, you could see the talent and how good she was at conveying her talent in an imaginary circumstance and bringing that to the screen and bringing that to the viewers, and seeing her being so young but being so poised and at the press conferences and the media events, and seeing her with Won Bin, and it's just amazing that she was able to go from there, continue to have a career, and cultivate herself into what she was before she passed. There was a lot of nuances in this situation that led to her ultimately exiting this world. A lot of it had to do with poor decisions. I'm going to be honest with you though. I did not really follow her too much after The Man from Nowhere. I figured that she went on to do bigger and better things, which she did, but I did not know all of the scandal that surrounded her as she got older. She was only in her early 20s, and it's devastating that someone so young would decide this for themselves. However, we do have to look at the overall picture of what had happened and what led to her taking a break from the entertainment industry, and that poor choice that caused a lot of people in South Korea to look at her in a negative way. And it had to do with her drinking. The drinking culture in South Korea, once again, is it's a huge deal and it's a big thing, and it's something that is so normalized, but it's like there does need to be a cap on it, because we're still getting celebrities, we're still getting normal people getting DUIs, drinking too much, jumping in their fancy cars, and then they either hit another car, hit a person. In this case, Kim Se-on hit electric transformer. So, it's like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad that nothing happened to her. I'm so glad that she was okay and she still had her life. But then it was like, no, there was another layer onto this. She hit the transformer and it knocked out power for many restaurants and businesses in that area. So she was fined. She was fined a hefty amount of money. And the public started to not like her. Once again, I talk about this all the time. The Korean public, they can be very fickle with certain things. And when it comes to you being disruptive, when it comes to you messing up people's money, when it comes to you disrespecting people, something that you've done that really affects somebody, they don't forget it. So these businesses lost a lot of money because they did not have electricity. She wrote a handwritten apology. Of course, it wasn't enough because people were like, well, what are you doing drinking and driving? I mean, you know the people that probably are judging her probably were drinking and driving themselves. They probably riding bikes, drinking and driving, falling out in the alley, doing everything else, fighting in clubs. But you know, it's like she's in the public eye. And so I'm laughing because of the hypocrisy. So it's like, oh my goodness, like we believed in you and you went and you did this. So she went and left the entertainment industry and started working regular part-time jobs. It shows her on Instagram. You can literally find the trail of the pictures of her working regular jobs to try to give some portion of some type of money back to the people that were affected. I was like, okay, you better than me, because I'm like, whatever money I had saved up, I don't know what she had, well, I don't know what her finances were. I just would have cut a check and went on about my business. Had it been me, I don't drink, so I can't relate to this. It would not have been me, but if it had been, take the check. But yeah, it was kind of a little bit of a pitiful existence for her, and it weighed on her, I think. I think that she wanted to continue acting, but then it was guilt. And in all honesty, this was a poor decision on her part. What I'm not gonna do is sit in front of this camera and just because she made the decision to do what she did, say like, oh my goodness, it shouldn't matter, or try to like have some type of sympathy in the situation. No, she made a wrong decision. It is what it is. I'm not the type of person that goes to somebody's funeral and just because they passed away, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, they were such a good person. They did this, that, and the other. Knowing deep down inside that I didn't like the person. Or knowing that deep down inside of the person really wasn't a good person. I don't like fakeness like that. I'm not fake like that. I will not do that. I will go to the funeral and be like, I'm so sorry to the family. I'm so sorry to this young girl's family because talking about the act of exiting this world, it is a selfish action. And it's selfish because you're leaving a big effect on the people that are left behind, your family, your friends, the people that stumble upon your body. It's selfish. It is. And I understand that people do it because the pain is unbearable. Maybe they feel like there's no other option. But like I've been in situations with people and I've said this to them when they talked about us. I'm like, think of your family. Think of the people that you're going to hurt. You're going to hurt a lot of people more than the hurt that you're feeling right now. And so South Korea still has this thing where people are doing this and the people are being found in their homes or in cars. And it's just like, I really wish that there was more of a value on life or that you have this pain and you just cry and sit and talk to someone. Like, it's okay to sit and cry. I'd rather you drink and cry and roll around on the floor screaming and crying and just have someone there and you talk to somebody. But in South Korean society, it still is taboo to talk about mental health. A lot of people don't want to be vulnerable. A lot of people don't want to sit and talk about the things that they're going through. They rather internalize it. There was a director, she was basically had started and finished the project, and they were saying like there was no sign at all that she was going through anything that would lead her to do this action. And a lot of time it's not, because a lot of people are good at internalizing things. I'm good at internalizing things. There are a lot of people out here that go through stuff and they don't show it. They show it behind closed doors, but they don't show it. So, adding on another layer to this whole situation, she had planned to come back. She told her friends that she was going to come back. And I feel like that South Korean entertainment needed her because she definitely was a very bright young talent. However, we once again have another bad decision on her part. Decision number two. She's on social media and she decides that she's going to post a very old picture of her and Kim Soo Hyun. Kim Soo Hyun is a very popular A-list actor. I can't believe this man is, what, 38 now? God, time flies. Oh my goodness. I remember when he first started, he was like his early 20s. Oh my goodness. Time, where are you going? But yeah, very handsome guy, very talented. I love him. He seems very genuine. I like I like the stuff that I don't like everything that he's in. I like the stuff that he's in. So she posted this picture and she got immediate backlash for it. Had I been her friend or in her life, I would have been like, don't post that picture. Why would you post that? So you already on the public enemy list for the public. You don't need nothing else to make them jump on you anymore. You already did the DUI. They already looking at you foaming at the mouth, like waiting for you to do something else. The Nielsen's. Why would you post that picture? She posted the picture. I'm gonna be real. It looks like there could be a couple in the picture. Now, it could have just been them being playful, but it looks kind of intimate. To someone who doesn't know the whole context of the picture, it looks intimate. It looks like they could have been dating. And so Kim Seon's fans, them crazy fan girls and women who love him, jumped all over her. They like, you got time to be dating him? Shouldn't you be drinking out of a bottle somewhere in the alley on your part-time job? That's mean. But they probably were clapping back. They probably were clapping back like that. But yeah, and so she immediately took the picture down, and it was what it was. Kim Seon's agency had to come out too and like clear that up and rectify the situation. They were like, no, they not dating. That picture is old as hell. I think she posted the picture because she wanted traction and because she was planning a comeback, and I think she thought, oh, this is one of my connections to the entertainment industry. Let me go ahead and post it. But I wish that she had consulted somebody first, and that someone had told her, "No, girl, that's not a good idea. Don't post that." I also think it's disrespectful because I'm seeing like media outlets posting pictures of Kim Soo Hyun crying in dramas and kind of cropping and pasting it onto like her funeral pictures or whatever. So I would assume he went to her funeral. Um, but it's disrespectful. I don't like it. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Those are screen captions from him in his dramas crying. He's acting. That's not him crying over her in real life. It's weird. Ew, I don't like it. Why are you all doing that? Don't make a mockery of the girl's death. Like, I'm sure that there was a lot of tears shed at that funeral. I do wonder if Juan Ben went and like he just hid from the media. Cause like I do want to know what Juan Ben has been doing. Like, is he just chilling, living life? I hope he went to her funeral. He probably did go to her funeral because I mean they did a whole movie together, press conference, everything. I know he probably went to that girl's funeral. I know that he probably is deeply hurt by what has happened. Oh, that's some deep stuff. That's some sad, deep stuff right there. But there were a lot of bad decisions on her part that I think led to this. I do wish that there were people that could have caught her in time because you make that bad decision, you make bad decisions. And you gotta face it and you live with the consequences. And I think she did, but I don't think that she really could handle the backlash that she got. But the backlash she got was the backlash that she got. And no one made her do what she did. She did all that herself. Now, do I think they should have been like bullying her? No, but at the same time, you can't control how people react to situations. You know how South Korea's social media, internet presence is. She knows she's Korean herself. She should know this all happened and it all came crashing down and it came to this. I know that her family, her friends are probably beating themselves up because this probably came out of nowhere. Also, with the Korean police system and them finding people in their house deceased, I feel like there needs to be better investigation because it's just like, okay, we found someone in their house deceased. Oh, it had to have been the S word. Oh, it had to have been, you know, them deciding that they just didn't want to be here anymore. It's like no, really investigate their bodies and see like what's going on there because we're getting a whole lot of people being found in their homes, deceased, and I would like a little bit more detail than just oh they must have taken their life. There was no suicide note, or there was a suicide note. It's a very eerie situation, very strange. This keeps happening. It keeps happening, and it doesn't make me feel good. But to be real, I do have to keep it real. I'm always gonna be very honest. She made a couple of bad decisions, and those decisions cost her. I'm sad that she's not here anymore because she was a talent. However, I do think that we need to take into account the things that she did because, like, I do see kind of like this narrative online, like, oh, look, they drove her to do this, and oh, look, the South Korean public drove her to do this. In this situation, I think that it was a mixture of people giving their opinions, but also her living with the consequences of her own decisions as well. So, like, I don't want to, in this situation, paint it like, oh, it was just South Korea's fault as far as the public reaction and opinion of it. No, I think that she was living with the weight of the consequences of what she herself had done. And I do think it was too much. And it's sad, but it is what it is at this point. Condolences to her family, condolences to all the people that knew her, that worked with her, to people who did support her because I do want to say this too, she did have supportive comments even though it was a lot of negative comments. There were people that did support her, but sometimes the negative outweighs the good, and that's all you might see. So follow my social media, mostly my Instagram. Also, below News Attention Pop Culture. The link is always down in the description box below. And remember, be real, stay real, live in the real, and I will always be back. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in another video. Love you guys.